Hey guys, I'm Nick. For those of you who don't know me, this is not a reading, so if you're looking for a reading, you can probably click off. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this. I feel like this is maybe a healing session for me and for you, anyone who may be going through something or have recently gone through something, and to know that you're not alone and that there is someone out there, probably many people out there going through something similar or feeling similar feelings that you're feeling. And I guess I wanted to kind of share my story a little bit in the hopes that maybe it'll help someone, because when I was going through it, I felt like there was no one out there that I could relate to, or no one that I could talk to that would really understand what I was feeling. And so it made it harder. It took longer for me to process everything. And I reached the point where I feel like I have really healed from everything that's happened, and I'm able to kind of talk about it more. And although I probably won't share, personal details, I want to share enough for you to feel connected to me and feel like you know me and that we're friends and I care about you, because I really do. And it really hurts me to see, other people going through pain, and I don't want other people to go through pain and sadness, even though I know it's inevitable in life. I've seen and I felt so much pain that I don't wish that for anyone, I really don't wish that for anyone. And if I can help someone maybe move through their pain and find their light and find healing and feel better, even if it's just one person, I'll feel good. I'll feel happy with myself, and I feel like that's more than enough, even if it's just one person. So as some of you may already know, especially if you follow me in my Instagram, I am a young widow. I got married pretty young. His name was John, and we were both pretty young. He was only a year older than me, and we were both really madly, truly in love with each other, and he was like the love of my life pretty much. And he was Canadian, I'm American, and I had moved to Canada after I finished university at UCLA, and then I moved over there. We kind of just started our whole life together, and I was excited. And at the blink of an eye, things changed, and unfortunately he passed away really unexpectedly, and it's changed my whole world. It changed everything. And a year later, actually, his mom passed away on my birthday from cancer, and I remember feeling so hurt. And I can't even imagine how much pain and sadness, his family, which I still consider my family, was going through, it was so hard to even be happy that day. And there's just so much that happened, and it's even hard to talk about because I still get emotional about it. But I've healed from it. I've definitely healed from it. But I guess the reason why I wanted to talk about it today was because this month is actually when we had gotten married, towards the end of October. And I get reminded of it every time I pass the date, because it was special to me, and he was special, and we had a special bond. And now looking back, I realize and I've learned and accepted that our journey, our relationship wasn't meant to last forever. And that was probably the hardest thing for me to accept. It's probably the hardest thing for anyone to accept, and I've learned a lot from it. And if you've dealt with loss or any kind of loss in your life, and whether it's a parent, family member, friend, spouse, or a pet, just someone that you really loved and you felt close to, and I don't mean like an acquaintance or something like that, but someone you really loved and felt close to, you know what I mean? It's really, really hard. And what made me sad was that, we had just started our whole life together, and we had just gotten married, and he really wanted me to have a baby, wanted us to have a family. And I was like, no, it's too soon, let's just wait. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I kind of look back and wish maybe I would have had a baby, because then I would have had, you know, like a memory of him, and it would have just been really nice. But then the other part of me is like grateful that it didn't happen, because then that child would have grown up without a dad, you know? So I'm sorry, I don't mean to get super emotional, but it always happens. I think losing someone was probably my biggest fear my whole life. And now that it's already happened, I feel like I'm stronger than ever before. I feel like I have this new perspective, and losing him was his gift to me. And as hard as weird as that may sound, it's true, because it opened so many new doors for me. It made me get back on my journey, on my path, helped me find myself. And losing him is what, you know, pushed me, encouraged me towards spirituality and finding myself and my gifts and things that I never knew I had or didn't realize. After he passed, he appeared to me 3 days after he passed away. I saw him, and there's a lot of white light behind him, and my cousins were there in the room with me, so they can vouch that it was real. And like, it was on a cold January day in Canada, and the room started getting really warm. This was at night, and we were about to go to bed, and all of a sudden it got really warm in the room. And I was like, wow, did you guys turn on the heater? They're like, no, I don't know, but it is getting warm. And then as they turned off the light and I was about to go to bed, something told me to look up, and I saw him, and he was there. And at that moment is when I got confirmation, and I knew that he was okay, and that he just wanted to say that he's always with me, and that I don't need to cry, I don't need to be sad. And after that, I would see him constantly all the time as well. And even to this day, he still appears in my dreams a lot. And he sends me messages. I know that he protects me, and he's one of my angels and my guides now. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for him, and I'm grateful for all the memories that I had. And although it's really sad, I know that it was for a reason. And you know, I am hopeful. And at the time, obviously, I didn't feel that way. I was super depressed. I couldn't eat, I couldn't breathe. I felt like I just couldn't do anything. And it took probably a full 2 years for me to kind of just get back on my feet and redo my whole life again, which has been a process, and it's taken hard work, but I'm grateful for it, and I know that's just how it had to be. I'm sharing this because, like, I know that during a time when you're feeling really down and defeated and sad, you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, you feel like it's the end, but it's not the end. And bad times, sad times, pain, it won't last forever. It's gonna eventually fade away. And I started slowly, you know, very slowly over time, to feel more alive, to revive myself, to nurture myself, take care of myself. And I had watched a TED Talk online, and what stuck out to me, and still I remember it, is the person said, you know, when it comes to like loss, think of it, when you find it hard to push forward or to continue on, just keep that person in mind and know that the best way to honor the dead is to live your best life, because they would want you to be happy. They would want you to be living happily and good. And that really stuck with me, because I know that's exactly what he would want. He wouldn't want me to be sad. He would want me to live my life. And I think it was at that moment that I made a promise to myself and to him that I was gonna make him proud and make myself proud, and like move forward. So I think his love and his energy and his essence and my desire and need to still contact him or talk to him or want to see him is what kind of pushed me and kept me going. And eventually I came across readings and I started getting really interested in it, and I bought my own cards and I started playing with them, and I just felt like right away connected, and I started just playing on my own, and it's something I can't really explain. It kind of just came to me. And one day, I think it started in November, but in January is when I actually started my YouTube channel. In 2016 he passed away in January, and then 2018 of January, I think, yeah, 2018, that's when I started my YouTube channel. And I was like, you know what, let me just try this, because I don't know, something inside of me was telling me to do it. Maybe it was him, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had never done readings before. It's just something that came to me, and I was so shy. I was like so weird in front of a camera, and I felt awkward. But eventually, as I kept doing it, I felt like it was right. I was getting feedback, and all of a sudden I started feeling like I was on my journey and I was living my life purpose. And I feel like sometimes when you're a healer, you have to go through a lot of painful situations and painful things so that you can learn how to heal others. And I think that's like one of the things that happened to me. And so it kind of pushed me on this journey, and I've been evolving and growing ever since, and wanting to just help people and inspire people. And I think that's why I try my best to always be very positive and uplifting with everyone, because it's so important. It's so important. We go through so much pain and difficulty and stress in our lives that the last thing we need is someone to put us down, And I feel like it's so important for each and every one of us to be positive and to be kind to one another. You just never know what someone is going through. You just never know. And it's important to be nice and understand that everyone's going through something, or everyone's maybe fighting a battle that you can't see, that you don't know of. And don't take life for granted. Don't take people in your life for granted. Love everyone. Give everyone a hug. Let them know that you appreciate them, that you love them, because you just never know what can happen. And that's not to say to be scared or anything, but just know that with anything that happens in life, everything is for a reason, and take everything as a lesson, and don't let one situation, one thing defeat you or destroy you or make you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, because there is, and you'll make it through, and you're going to be stronger. And I feel like the universe or God or whatever you believe in will never let something happen to you that they feel you can't handle. And I think that whole situation really taught me and showed me how strong I really am, and really forced me to be strong when I didn't feel strong. And because of those situations and everything that happened, I am who I am now. I feel like I'm smarter, I'm wiser, I'm more mature, I understand more, I'm more tolerant, I'm more understanding, and I still believe in love, because his love still lives in me, and it's something that pushes me and always encourages me. And like, even when like at times I don't feel good, or I feel sad or upset about something, it's funny because he'll come in my dreams right after just kind of lift me up or remind me that I'm okay and that I don't need to feel, you know, upset about that and keep pushing me forward or whatever I have like doubts. So yeah, you know, I'm human just like you, and we all go through things, and I think also being like a young widow, it's kind of hard to date afterwards, because it's not the same as like having a breakup or, you know, something like that. And for the longest time, I told myself, you know, I'm never gonna get married again, I'm never gonna be in a relationship, I'm just gonna be by myself. And because I just didn't feel it was right, I feel like it was disrespectful, and I was still in love with him, and I felt like I could never just be with someone else. But I want you to know that if you are a widow, or if you did lose someone, that life goes on. Eventually, you know, you will heal. It takes time. Everyone's healing process is different. You may take longer than you may heal faster than I did. But take your time, don't rush things, focus on you, do things that make you happy, write in a journal, talk to someone, hear music, meditate, work on yourself, improving yourself, and love yourself, because that's what the person would want you to do. They would want to look down. You want them to look down and be happy and smiling and not be stressed and sad and worried about you, because that keeps their energy here. You want them to be in peace. And that was one thing that I reminded myself constantly, that I don't want him to be stressed. I don't want him to worry about me. I want him to be in peace. And I started to really work on myself and get myself together and not be a victim and not live in this victim mentality. And as soon as I started doing that, my life started changing and good things started coming in. So I want you to know that this is not the end, and don't give up, and don't give up on yourself. And don't give up on love, because love will always come back and find you again. And maybe, you know, when someone's taken away from you, it just means you need to fall back in love with yourself and find yourself again. And I realized that it was unhealthy that I placed so much of my, you know, self-worth and value into him, into the relationship, that I almost kind of maybe lost myself. And now that I have a broader perspective, I see how important it is for me to love myself and to take care of my well-being, my soul, my spirit. And so don't be afraid to fall in love again. Don't be afraid to meet someone and, you know, make a new friend. It never hurts. And take your time. Don't force yourself, as you know, of course, but I think in time the right person will come into your life, and it's not going to have to be forced. It's going to happen naturally. Just know that, you know, your partner, your person, your husband, your wife would want to see you happy. And when you're sad, they're sad. When you cry, they cry. So take care of yourself, love yourself, and be patient with yourself. And it's okay to sometimes fall back and feel sad, because, you know, it's grief, and just be patient with yourself, but know that you're not alone. And I know what you're feeling. I know what you went through. And sometimes the best thing to do is just to talk it out, and or listen to someone, or hear music, write. I wrote a lot in a journal. I would write every day and talk to him. And I still do that sometimes. Whenever something good or something happens in my life, I write to him and I tell him about it. And I'm thinking maybe in the future, maybe I'll write a book or something. I don't know, we'll see. But I do it just for myself as well. And, you know, honor him, honor her, honor your person by living your best life and loving yourself, because that's going to make them happy and make them proud of you. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And I'm not sure how this came out. Hopefully, you know, it reaches the person who is meant to reach. And just stay strong and know you're not alone. Okay, so if you want to see any pictures of him and I do have some on my Instagram, probably like way at the bottom or something. We're strong, and we will move on, and we will be happy again and find our happiness. So take care. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it well, and if you have any questions, let me know down below. Maybe we'll talk about it. Or if you are a widow or you lost someone, share your story. Maybe someone will relate to it or find it helpful in some way. All right, so thank you so much for being here, for listening to me, and sending you lots of love.